You're probably wondering why you're seeing my face. Well, I've got good news and bad news. Bad news is that JP, because of technical difficulties, can't really make videos anymore, so you won't be seeing him anymore. But the good news, and now listen, this is really good news. It means you'll be seeing a lot more of me. Okay, so today, why don't we talk about relationships? I know I already talked about dating, but I'm not talking specifically about dating relationships. I'm talking about friendships, family relationships, and just interactions with different people, right? I've got two big things I wanted to talk about and a third little sub point because I've been, yeah. Anyways, let's get right into it because this is, it's probably gonna be a short one. We'll see how it goes. There's two different types of relationships in every either friendship, dating relationship, or family relationship, or any interaction. Like I said, there's basically two kinds of relationships. There's a conditional relationship and unconditional relationship. Now, for those of you that don't know, which there may be like one or two, but for those of you that don't know, conditional relationships are ones you kind of want to stay away from. Conditional relationships occur when the person says, if you want me, or if you want my friendship, you'll do this. Or if you want my love in a dating relationship or a family relationship, you have to do this. If something, you get that relationship with that person. And while that may not always be the case, because sometimes what they're asking for is genuinely right, like, don't murder somebody and I'll be, I'll be your friend. Don't, you get what I'm saying? Like, don't be stupid. And I'll be, actually, no, that couldn't really play because I have friends and anyways. But, I'm actually, as much as I hate to admit it, I'm actually guilty of this as well. So, I'd ask if you guys look deep within your friendships, look deep within your lives, and try to see if you can, like, root out some of these friendships where either you're the one that's being, the one that's adding conditions to it, and it may not be, okay, so just because in my situation, right, I told this specific person that if we don't talk more, if we don't text more, or if we don't communicate more, we really can't be friends. And it kept getting to me because we weren't able to do that. And so they know who they are, and we've resolved this between us. And what really happened was, it was just me being insecure about my friend, right? And so it, like, what I'm trying to say is, like, there may be times when you aren't feeling too great about a certain friendship, or something's happening and you're trying to force a friendship, you're trying to force something on them, and you're saying, if you do this, then you'll be my friend. And it may not even be a bad thing. Like, I know sometimes peer pressure gets into, like, if you're cool, you'll smoke. If you're cool, you'll drink and drive. I'm not talking about, drastic things like that. Because that is relevant, yes. And those are 100% conditional relationships. But let's face it, if you're watching this video, I assume you're around better friends. I assume you're in better company than to be falling into stuff like that. Does that make sense? That's probably the best way I can explain it. Yeah, it doesn't have to be something, super drastic. It could be like, in my instance, like I said, I wanted to communicate more, which isn't a bad thing, but the root of it, like, when I really thought about it and I dug deep in myself, I found out that the root of it was my own insecurities. If it wasn't that way, maybe I wouldn't have pressured that person into talking more. And, like, you get the point, right? And so I would encourage you to look deep into your own relationships and try and find places where you may not be as loyal of a friend as you think you are. And because you're doing, or because you're asking them to do certain things, and guys, if you're asking your girlfriend to do something you're not supposed to, then you're not you're not being a good boyfriend. And I'm gonna say it now. You're probably gonna not like me for that, but I'm gonna say it again. Man, I like that phrase, huh? I've said it once, I'm saying it again. Anyways, yeah, I've said that like 4 or 5 times in these videos. And I never say them in person. I don't know what it is. Anyways, yeah, it doesn't have to be something drastic, but do look into your life. It's good to do that. It's healthy, to keep like checking up on yourself. And sometimes if you have a partner that does that for you, if that friend does that for you, you know, take that with, instead of getting frustrated at that, take that with a grain of salt and say, yeah, maybe, you know, it's time for me to look in and see, hey, I'm not being a good friend, or I'm being very conditional in my friendship. Now to the second kind of friendship, second kind of relationship, is unconditional relationships. Now this is displayed all over the Bible. Like, let's look at the most common example that anyone can think of. Jesus' death on the cross, right? He knew you and I would sin. He knew you and I would fall. He even knew that wars and mass murder... Whoa, that's awkward. Whoops, sorry about that. Yep, my little screen fell down. But anyways, so the death on the cross, right? He knew you and I would sin. He knew you and I would do some things, and he still died. And there's no greater love than to die for your friends. Then I wanted to talk a little bit about Levi, Matthew, and Simon, and James and John. When he called them, right, their friendship was unconditional. Like, he literally told Levi in Luke 5:27, and Jesus just says, follow me, and Matthew gives up everything and follows him, right? Now, to have a friendship like that is truly immense. For someone to come up to you and say, follow me, and you drop everything and leave, that's that's pretty impressive. It's pretty impressive of him. And how does this relate to unconditional relationships? He didn't tell Jesus anything. He didn't put conditions to Jesus' friendship. He just followed him. That's my best way of explaining it. Same thing with Simon and the sons of Zebedee. Zebedee? Yeah, Zebedee, I think. And last but not least, this calls me to the third main sub-point. This is love. What is love? Baby, don't hurt me. What is love? Love is to desire the goodwill, or to desire the betterment of another person, even if that means sacrificing, you know, you're sacrificing something yourself. So we'll take the same example of Jesus dying on the cross. He sacrificed his life for us, right? He loved us. It doesn't have to be that extreme, though. And in fact, the English language really mutilates the word love, because it completely diminishes it of its meaning. Like, we use the word love for ice cream, like I did previously in the previous video, and we use the word love for the deepest relationship someone can have, right? The deepest kind of friendship someone can have. We use love for basic activities. Like, I love watching Netflix. I love watching YouTube, which isn't good for me because I do it too much. But we also use love for, you know, our sisters and brothers and parents. And so it really distorts this word love. And I think it's best to look at the Greek words, because a lot of our English language is originated from Greek and Latin. And so it's good to look back and see what exactly we mean by these words that we're saying. So the Greeks had 4 ways of saying love. They had storge, and if I mispronounce these, be my guest to correct me. But storge, which was a form of attachment, like, I love my phone, I storge my phone, or ice cream even, right? I'm using the same examples so that I'm consistent with my stuff. Then there's philia, because there's philia, and that one is more of a friendship based. Like this could be with, I'm gonna put that down. This could be with like teachers and neighbors and acquaintances. Like you care about them, you want what's best for them, and but it's not like deep love, you know what I mean? It's not like, yeah man, I'd do anything for you. It's like, cool, we're friends, and if you're doing something wrong, and or if you're in trouble, I'll help you out. Then the third one is eros. Eros? Eros. That is the love of attraction. Like, wow, she's pretty, or you know what I mean? Like that goes into a little bit more dating relationships. And lastly, this is the kind of love we should strive for to have with, guaranteed we can't have this with every relationship, but this is the kind of love we would strive for. The one coming up, not eros. Agape, which is completely unconditional. That means that no matter what you do, no matter what it's valuing the other person over yourself entirely. It's like saying that, you know, I may not know who you are, but I'm gonna do everything in my power to make sure that you live a better life. Shoot, this is gonna get a little deep with this. It's gonna be like your future spouse. For those of us that are, you know, teenagers and growing up, it could be meaning dying to yourself every day for your future spouse. If that means working out, if that means, you know, eating healthier, that means staying healthier, so that they may meet you and they may get to enjoy you. But, you know, it really means valuing oneself, and that's where the like real sacrifice comes in. Because in all the other ones, sure, you could argue that there's sacrifice, there's little things, but this is the one that really means, you know, this is sacrificial love, and that's as true as it gets. That's as true as love gets. And so in every relationship that we have, as far as we can get to agape is the best place we can be, because we were called not for storge, not for philia or eros. We were called for agape in every one of our relationships. And we can find the people that did this the best were the saints. And the people we look up to happen to be those people. And so, if you ever have any doubts about what agape is, feel free to look it up. And you can even come to me. I'm not the most knowledgeable person, but I do know a thing or two about it. That being said, thank you for watching this video. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.